another short and sweet review. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about A Quiet Place Part 2. A Quiet Place 2 stars Emily Blunt, Cillian Murphy, Millicent Simmons, and Noah Jupe, and is written and directed by John Krasinski. If you're watching this review, I can almost guarantee that you've been waiting for this movie. I've been waiting to see A Quiet Place Part 2 ever since they announced it, which I think was in like late 2019, somewhere around 2020. But with the pandemic, John Krasinski said that he will not release this until we can all go see it in theaters. And there were a few other times where it looked like it was going to come out, but it just kept getting pushed and pushed and pushed. But I knew that this movie was going to be worth the wait. And let me tell you something, this movie is absolutely worth the year and some odd months that I waited for this movie to come out. It was such an emotional roller coaster. There were so many moments in this movie where you were just biting your fingernails, clenching your fist, white knuckling it, just like, how are they gonna survive this? Like, what's gonna happen next? What's gonna happen? Is everyone gonna survive this? Like, this movie was incredible. I actually cried during this movie. I cried at the end of the movie. The end of this movie, without giving any spoilers, to me, in my personal opinion, is one of the most satisfying endings to a horror movie. Also, this movie has one of the best opening sequences to a horror movie. Probably, in my opinion, this might be the best opening sequence to a horror movie sequel, nonetheless. This was a great movie, you guys. I'm gonna say this probably 100 times more in this review, but I am so glad that we finally have this movie. It's out in theaters. You need to experience this movie in the theater. It really is one of those movies where you have to. The sound design in this movie is probably the most creative I've literally heard in quite some time. Emily Blunt's performance, Cillian Murphy's performance, Millicent Simmons, and Noah Jupe, everybody's performance, in my opinion, is immaculate. There was literally, I found nothing wrong with the performances of this movie. I found it absolutely believable. This movie is, in my opinion, also a very, very heavy-toned movie. Besides the aliens and all of the catastrophes going around them and the feeling of loss and grief, this movie is basically about family and what you would do if your family was faced in literal life or death situations in the most grim circumstances. And let me tell you something, that really translates in the tone of this movie. The amount of silence that there is really showcases just how grim and dire the consequences can be in this movie. This movie is fucking incredible, you guys. I'm sure a lot of you, when you heard that John Krasinski, Jim from The Office, was creating a horror movie, directing and writing a horror movie, we were all like, what? But hats off to you, sir. Hats off to you. I am on board if you decide to create more of these movies, or if you decide to create a whole new story to tell. I could gush about this movie for probably a couple of hours. And I will be doing that in a spoiler discussion next week with my friend Arturo. Be on the lookout for that. I will be posting it on my podcast feed. It's called the Billy Sauer Podcast. If you would like to check that out, you can search for it on both Spotify and Apple Podcasts. All gushing aside, I'm going to go ahead and give A Quiet Place Part 2 an A+. Of course, I was going to give this movie that grade. It definitely deserves it. It was so worth the wait. You guys need to check this film out in the theaters. If you have seen A Quiet Place Part 2 though, please leave a comment down below letting me know your thoughts. And if you are new to my channel, thank you so much for watching. Please hit that subscribe button and give this video a like and share this around with your friends. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.